Welcome to part 2 of the making of this ball finial. If you've watched part 1, then you'll know that we've already domed the top off and we worked a cylinder down to the square bottom. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch that first, because then this whole video will make a lot more sense. Our next step is that we're going to work this rebate out of here. I've done this rebate first because it is the largest rebate that I can do, so it will take the most amount of material out in one hit. It's also going to pick up this point here and this point here, which is vital for getting this little fillet in. So not only are we not touching that, because we don't want to get too close to this, we just want to get rid of the most material, but it's also wide enough to fit a 5-inch grinder in, so I could do it all with a grinder instead of having to do fiddly bits with chisels. So that's the reason why I'm doing that rebate first. So next stage is cutting this rebate circular using a sinking square referencing off of the previous cylinder. Check it out. First job, mark this rebate on. So this is where we're at so far. We've just basically done it in big chamfers, just like everything else. But instead of being able to draw the chamfer on the end, which makes it a lot easier because you know where you are, you've literally got to work blind until you hit the point where your sinking square is just touching. So I've done that on multiple sides now, and now basically need to do smaller chamfers between these chamfers, just like everything else. Essentially, in stonemasonry, if it's got a curve, it's made out of flat surfaces. If it's flat, it's made out of flat surfaces. Everything is made out of flat surfaces. Just a curve is a multiple series of flat surfaces. Finished the rebate. Well, I finished the bottom surface of the rebate anyway. So this is set to 77 mil. And as you can see by working my way around it, I've done that all the way around. So this surface of the rebate is now where it needs to be. This surface now, this I need to pull back. Now that this rebate is done, we need to get some more lines drawn on for our next steps. We now got this surface here, so we need to draw this line on here. We also might as well get as many of these lines drawn on as we can, because if you can mark the line on, mark the line on. Don't mark the line on if you're then going to cut the line off. But if you're not going to cut the line off, mark the line on, because then you know where everything is. It's very easy to get yourself very confused, and if you don't have lines marked on, it's very easy to miss things and cut things to the wrong line. So mark your lines on. Right, I've got these lines drawn now. Whoop, 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 whoop. Right, they're ready to go. So now I'm gonna get this little fillet put in here. Cheeky little tip. If you know you have to cut a rebate at 10mm deep, you can mark your 10mm on your blade and then finger trammel it on with a permanent marker. And by finger trammel it on, I mean using your finger as a guide to draw a parallel line on. Not the most accurate thing in the world, I'll give you that. Means when you turn it on, you've got a line, a 10mm line. So I've got that finished. That little rebate's in. As you can see, if I pop that down there, like that, well, you can't really see, can you? It's 87mm. It's 87mm deep off of the outside cylinder. Right, here is the new chamfer line. So now I'm gonna mark this point on here and this point on here, just the same as we did with this one. Once again, we've left it just off the line, just off the curve, to just get the waste off again. And then we're going to do the same thing as what we did with the top, with the bottom. We're going to put drafts in to that point there, using the reverse in multiple places all the way around, and then hopefully we'll finish the whole ball off and the ball will be done. And then we can get on with some of this more smaller fiddly stuff. Just thought I'd show you what is achievable just with a grinder. I'm using a variable speed grinder, which means I could dial it right back, just be shaving tiny amounts off. To get it within 1/2 mil or 1/4 mil over the entire thing is completely achievable if you're patient. You take your time and you just constantly check it with that reverse. And then we're gonna go and take this rasp here and go over it further. And then we'll finish it by polishing it off with a 60 grit carborundum. And if you don't know what a carborundum is, this is a carborundum. It's the same stuff, it's made out of silicon carbide. It's the same stuff that you use for grinding wheels, for grinding tungsten. And you can cut it up with a grinder into various different shapes. If you do a cavetto, you can grind it so it's round, and then, you know, makes for good rubbing. lovely ball. As far as balls go, it's a pretty round ball. I'm comfortable that anywhere I put this reverse, it fits like a glove. Unfortunately, it has got these horrible little sand holes in it. There's not really a lot we can do about that. It's a natural product. You will get faults in the stone. You just have to be aware of them. Try and cut them out where you can. You could fill it with like a resin or a mortar repair. This isn't for our job. I'm doing this purely to show you guys how to make a ball finial. So, no point in me doing that. There is just a chance the frost is gonna get in it, it's gonna pop out anyway. So, it's just one of those things with stone. You get things that you just can't control in the natural product. That is one of them. And we're just gonna deal with it. It's a natural charm of the natural material, naturally. Next stage, this rebate. And getting this point in here. Then that will allow us to get this cavetto in. And then we have still a nice flat surface here that we can square down off of. When I'm referring to a check, I'm referring to a square cutout. So whether that be a square cutout with 3 sides or a square cutout with 2 sides, that is referred to as a check within stonemasonry. Bottom line for the check, top line for the check, line for the other check. Now that's all marked up, cue the time lapse, and I'm going to cut that rebate out. To start doing all the little fiddly bits. We've taken out all the big chunky bits. Next bits are all the fiddly little bits. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. Leave some comments below, let me know what I can do better. And thanks for watching. Keep your eye out for part 3 that will be out next week.